Hello guys, welcome to this crash course of swing trading. So in this course we will be going through a few basic strategies of swing trading which will definitely help you guys in your day-to-day trading journey. So let's get started. So we will be starting from the very basics of candlesticks towards our advanced concepts in this field. So let's come to it right away. So as you guys can see on my screen, so this is the website of TradingView. So TradingView, in TradingView you will be able to analyze all the charts and detect the price fluctuations here, and you will be, this is the number one charting platform when it comes to analyzing charts. So see here, I have selected the daily time frame from here. So always, if you are swing trading, daily time frame is the best time frame to work with if you are swing trading in Indian stock market. So this is Vedanta Limited, this is a stock, right? So we shall be learning what candlesticks are first of all, right? So let's understand the color difference first of all. So we have one side we have green, one side we have red, right? So what does it tell you about the prices, right? So first of all, candlesticks represent the price movement or fluctuation within some period of time specified, right? So in this case you have the daily time frame. So one candlestick tells you the price movement in one day, right? One trading session, right? So this is the candle of 7th May 2021. So as you can see here, the prices have moved up, right? Since it is green, that means that the prices have opened at a lower level and closed at a higher level, right? Similarly, in case of a red candle, you have prices opening at a higher level and closing at a lower level. So the net price movement is on the downside, right? Negative, right? So if I were to talk about the candlesticks, so you have two edges here, two edges of the body, right? So one downward edge and upside edge, right? So the lower edge, right, the lower edge represents the opening price of the candlestick, and the higher edge represents the closing price of the candlestick, right? So if I were to talk about the Vedanta's price movement on 7th May 2021, so the prices opened at 275 and closed at 283, right? So that is the 8 rupees move on a single day, right? So, and if I were to talk about the percentage, so this is around 5.3%, right? So you have this weeks, right? So on the top you have one week and on the bottom you have another week, right? So what does this tell you? So this basically tells you that prices, if I were to talk about the downside week, so the lowest point of this week, right, that basically tells you the lowest price reached or attained by the stock on that day. Similarly, on the higher side you have the higher week, that tells you the highest point of price that is reached by the candlestick on that day, right? So let's come to the red candles. So in case of red candles, we have a similar we can make it out pretty easily, right? So you have prices opening at the higher edge and closing at the lower edge. So the net movement of prices is negative, right? It has gone down, right? Similarly, the weeks have the same meaning here. The highest price reached by the security as of 12th May, that was around how much? 292, and the lowest price was around 275. So that's a massive move on the downside, and this is down by around 2.25%, right? So that is the basic difference between green and red candlesticks. So hope you guys are clear on what candlesticks mean, and let's proceed to our next section. So you have trend now, right? So trend. So let's understand trend. This is actually a really important thing when it comes to price action. So what does the word trend tell you, right? Trend basically can mean direction, right? So it basically tells about the direction of the prices over some period of time, right? So say for example, I have drawn this pattern, right? I have drawn something like this. So this may represent the price action, right? So the prices have gone up, then went down, and again gone up, and then again came down, and then gone up. But see the net price movement, if if you see from, if you connect any two lows, or if you connect any two highs, or if you connect any other point, that is on a higher low, that is going up, right? So the average direction or the average price movement, that is on the high side, right? So if I just zoom in a little bit in this way, then this should be clear, right? So prices are going up, but it is in a zigzag fashion, right? So it is making highs, it is making lows, again making highs. So in that manner it is moving up, right? So you see here the prices, this is basically the price action, this tells you the trend, right? So whenever the average direction of prices is on the upside, right, just as in this case, when you see the average price movement is going up, right, so this is called as an uptrend, right? So whenever you hear the word uptrend, you just deduce that, we just understand from it that the average direction of prices is going up, right? No matter what short-term price swings may happen, or short-term price movements may happen, right? So over some course of time it is going up, right? So that is the trend, right? Similarly, this was uptrend. Now you can make out what a downtrend also is, right? So in this case you have this one, right? This kind of a pattern. So this is a perfect downtrend, right? So downtrend, again what you see, prices are making lows, again highs, again lows, again highs, again highs, lows, right? It's in the same way, but the average price direction is going downwards, right? So that is a downtrend, right? So let's understand it in a better fashion. So if I were to talk about an uptrend, so just see here, in the uptrend you see prices making highs and then higher highs and again higher highs, right? So each time a high is created, so upside peaks, that's what I mean by a high. So that each time a high is created, that is higher than the previous high, right? Similarly, when it comes to the lows, you have each time a higher low is also created, right? So whenever prices are on an uptrend, you can call it as we call it moving in the fashion of forming a higher high and a higher low, right? So uptrend is usually identified with higher highs and higher lows, right? Similarly, in case of downtrend, you have lower highs and lower lows, right? So each time a low is created, that is lower than the previous low, and the high also is lower than the previous high. So lower highs and lower lows. So that is the case of a downtrend, right? So I hope you are clear about what uptrend and downtrend is. So this is really important. Why is it important? Because whenever we are trading, so I'll just tell you one rule here. So if you are trading with price action, if you are trading in swings or any time frame, always trade with the trend, right? So if prices are going up, do not go for a short side trade, right? So that's what I mean to say. Do not go for a sell trade, right? It's because the average direction of prices is already against you in this case, right? So if you go for a short side trade, there is a high probability of your trade being a failure, right? Similarly, in case of a down trade, we do not think of going for a buy trade, right? So the reason is the same as since the average price direction is on the downside, so it becomes a bit riskier, or you may say the accuracy won't be good whenever you are trading on the buy side in a downtrend, right? So in order to decrease the chances of failure, this is the first rule we introduced, that always we should trade with the trend, right? So I hope that the uptrend and downtrend is clear, but let's move on to our next topics, right? So we have learned candlesticks, we have learned trend. Now we will learn support and resistance, right? So support and resistance again. So I'll just open the chart of Reliance here. There is a better example to show you all. So just a second. So hope you guys can see this level, right? So let me just draw it. I'll just mark one line in this case. Just see this level. Now I will let me just remove this once again. So hope you can see here what happens here. Prices can't move above 1591. That is around, just you can just take it as 1590. So what we see is prices are not able to go above 51, right? 1591, I mean to say. Similarly here we see prices are not able to go above the 1591 level. Then it finally goes up. We'll come to that later. So this is what we call as a resistance, right? So what does it tell you? Right, so resistance is any level that offers resistance to the prices, right? That obstructs the direction of the prices, right? If the prices try to go up, then it offers resistance to the prices, right? So here what we see, prices were going up, but it hits the resistance and then it goes down again. It hits the resistance, it goes down. It just cannot cross it, right? So it is acting as a strong level, right? So in this case, it is acting like a wall. It is acting like a resistance. The word is self-explanatory, right? So resistance is any level which is just not being able to cross by the prices, right? To be crossed by the prices. So what I mean to say is, whenever the prices cannot cross a level, it hits that level each time and then it rejects it. Right? So that is what we term as a resistance, right? So similarly, there is one more level. One more important level, so that is what we call as a support level, right? So here just see this example. I will just mark this level. See here, so what we can see here is prices, it went down and then it bounced from around 1031, it went up, it again came down, it bounced from around 1031, again came down, bounce, again came down, bounce, again it went bounced from a higher level and then it went up, right? So what does this tell you, right? Isn't this level acting as a support for the prices, right? So prices, so support is any level, right? So support is any level from where the prices bounce, right? So in this case you see prices bouncing 1, 2, 3, almost 4 times, right? So for almost 4 times it has bounced from the levels of around 1030 or 31. Right. So you see here is one more important support for Reliance, right? So here it is around 865. So here it has bounced from bounced once, twice, thrice, again fourth time here, and it has gone up, right? So that is a support zone, right? So from whenever you are seeing these types of levels, these are called as supports and resistances. So as I said again, resistances are levels which are rejected by the prices, right? The prices can't cross those levels. Again, support are those levels. Supports are those levels from where the prices bounce, right? It cannot go below that, right? So the prices don't have a tendency to go below it or go above that, right? So when I'm talking about supports and resistances. So why this happens, right? Why this happens? Let's understand the psychology. Let's understand it from the perspective of the buyers and sellers, right? Because markets are governed by buyers and sellers only, right? So let's understand why these levels act as supports and resistance, right? So I am talking about 865 or 866. You see, these are the level, these are the zones, or at around 865, buyers have the interest of purchasing Reliance shares, right? So whenever prices are at support levels, or whenever prices come down to some level, right, it gets some buying interest from the buyers, right? It gets some demand, right? So buyers come in and they try to buy the stock, right, just to because they feel like this is a good price to buy, right? And then they buy for either for short term or either for long term, right? Because they have the perspective that the prices, it is a fair value for the prices, right? So that can be one ideology behind it. So that means what? The prices are bouncing off from the support, means that buyers are active at around the support levels and they are interested to purchase the stock when it comes down to support level prices, right? So if I were to talk about the dominance of buyers, so the dominance of buyers is much higher in this case when the prices are at support levels, right? Because a huge buying interest comes in at these levels, right? Similarly, in case of resistances, we have sellers active here, right? So I'll just take the example of resistance. Just a second. Just a second. Yeah. So as you see, what happens here is whenever Reliance price reaches 1591, there is a good amount of sellers which become active. They feel that Reliance has moved up a lot, right? Now it should not go up, or maybe it has not much weight to left to be going up, right? They can have a very different outlook. They can have a different perspective for it, right? They just feel they are bearish on it, right? So they don't feel that Reliance will go up from this level, right? So in these levels, the prices are not able to cross because the sellers sell at this price. Either they have quantities selling, or either they have many Reliance shares which they sell at these levels, or they open short sell positions, right? So both of this contribute to selling pressure in the market, right? So when it comes to this resistance level, the dominance of the sellers is higher, right? That is why we see prices going down, right? So we have a short-term supply increase in the prices whenever it comes at a resistance level, and then it comes down from there, right? So understanding from the perspective of supply and demand, you will be able to understand it pretty easily, right? So whenever demand is higher, the prices go up. So that is exactly what happens at the support levels, and whenever the demand is lower, right, or the supply is higher, the prices go down, right? So that is what leads to prices going down or sellers becoming active, right? So I hope this is clear. Now let's move on to I'm sure you must be clear about supports and resistances now. Now let's move on to some of our next topics. So we will be learning about some basic candlestick patterns, right? So let's come to candlestick patterns, right? See at this level, I'll just open an example of a candlestick pattern, right? So let's mark this level. So this is around at 1080, right? You see that what happens here. So this will be our first candlestick pattern, right? So this is a bullish engulfing, right? This is what we call as a bullish engulfing pattern, right? So what we see here, we see a red candle, right? A red candle with a relatively smaller body than the green candle, right? Which means that the prices go down, and then what happens? They form a larger green candle whose body completely engulfs the red candle, right? So this is a bullish engulfing pattern, right? So bullish engulfing. So this indicates a up move in the price, right? This indicates an up move. So whenever we see bullish engulfing patterns forming at support, right? So say for example, 1080 is a support level for Reliance. So if prices come down and then it bounces off from this support, forming a bullish engulfing, this means that the bounce is confirmed, and now you can open a buy trade here, right? So you can open a buy trade, and since you have a bullish engulfing pattern, right, so which indicates a bullish sign from here, and also it confirms the bounce, now you can buy for the stock to go up, right? So that is the basic understanding of a bullish engulfing. So these patterns, of course, they will work. And let me just tell you one thing, that in technical analysis, whatever you are learning, everything's accuracy goes down as the time frame becomes shorter, right? So in case of daily time frame, candlestick patterns will have a good decent accuracy, right? When it comes to weekly time frame, it will have a higher accuracy, right? And in case of a monthly, it will have a even higher accuracy, right? But if you come down to intraday levels like 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, then everything's accuracy goes down, right? So I just open weekly chart. I guess that should do well here. Yep. So this is the weekly chart of Reliance, right? So we have learned bullish engulfing right now. So I hope this is clear. Now we will be learning on bearish engulfing, right? Bearish engulfing. So this is a resistance level first of all, around at 500. So what we 530 exactly. So what we see here, prices went up. It rejects 536 and then it goes down, right? So you see, this is actually the bearish engulfing pattern, right? This one. So in this case, what we see is there is a green candle, right? And this is completely engulfed by a red candle forming next to it, right? So the body of the red candle is bigger and completely engulfs the body of the green candle, right? So this is a bearish pattern, right? This indicates it basically the generalized view for it is bearish, right? So from here the prices go down and then it attains a low, right? So if you see a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern forming, then this should indicate that prices should go down or correct a small amount in for the short term, right? So this is the understanding behind a bearish engulfing pattern, right? So we have also have one more pattern here. So bearish engulfing, I hope you have understood, right? So this pattern, right, this one, this is what we call as an evening star, right? Evening star pattern, right? So you have one green candle, right? We have a doji candlestick pattern. So this is called as a doji. So if I talk about the doji candlestick pattern, so this has a very small body and wicks, relatively larger wicks on each side. So do not go to the to the technical terms. This basically just means that there is some indecision in the market. So doji is just like a range, right? Doji tells you that the prices don't have a direction. It indicates indecision in the market, right? So whenever we see a green candle and then a doji like candle and then a red candle, whose if in ideal case the body of the red candle should be bigger than that of the green candle, right? This forms an evening star and this is again a bearish pattern. So if I like if this is a resistance level and you see this forming up, you can open a short side trade, right? And you see the move, right? On the downside it is a pretty good move, right? So this is evening star. So if I can find a morning star, this should be good. Just a minute. I'm just searching for a morning star and I found it. So yep. So see here again, what we see is here is a support level for that side. Now see this candlestick pattern, exactly opposite of the evening star, right? So in this case you have a red candle with a relatively smaller body, then this green candle, and then you have a doji following it, and then you have a green candle, right? And you see the move, right? So that is what is an evening star candlestick pattern. So whenever you see this candlestick pattern forming in our weekly time frame or maybe in any time frame, right? In this case it is forming at a support level, right? Whenever you see this forming at a support level, then you can go for a buy side trade, right? So this is a good trade again. You see, this is the move, right? So I hope I am clear with these four candlestick patterns. I'll be these are the only candlestick patterns I'll be covering in this session, in this course, right? And you basically talking about the candlestick patterns, right? I'll just explain the psychology behind each of them, right? So let's understand one thing here. So just see here one thing. Let's talk about this candle. Right. So what does it mean? Although it is a red candle, right? Does it tell you, what does it tell you about the buyers and sellers? Right? I'm talking about this candle. Right? I'm talking about this candle. Right? So I hope you are clear. So in this case, what we see is prices opened at a higher level. Right? It made a low. It made a large. It made a fairly low, fairly downside low. Right? It has gone fairly down, and then from here we see buyers coming in and pushing the prices up. Right? So that is basically indicated by this candle, right? So what does this tell you again? This tells you that both buyers and sellers are there, but the sellers are slightly more dominant than the buyers, right? But this does not tell you that buyers are completely removed from the market, right? So just as in this case, in this candle, you see the prices opened at a higher level, it made a high, and then you see sellers coming up and then pushing the prices down to a pretty lower low. So I hope this is clear. So in this case, the dominance of sellers is really high, right? So the buyers are negligible, right? So that is what is told by this candlestick pattern. Right? So whenever you see a downside wick, that indicates buyers, right? In case of a red candle and a relatively smaller voltage, that's actually a fairly, it is a very weak bullish sign, bearish sign, right? So in this case, this candle is a weak bearish candle, right? It does not indicate a strong downtrend, right? Similarly, this candle, this actually indicates a good downtrend, but again, the buyers become active, so it doesn't matter, right? So again, if I were to talk about the green candles, so this is a fairly bullish candle, right? You don't see buyers at all here. I mean sellers at all here, right? Buyers, price opened here, price went up, and then it made just a very small negligible wick on the upside, right? But see here, in this case, the prices went up and then sellers came in. Right? Sellers moved prices down by almost half of the total distance traversed by the price in that week, right? So this is a fairly this is not a strong bullish candle, right? So this indicates sellers are there, so we have to trade. If you are going for a buy side trade, we have to wait for more confirmations and see in the next candles there is a fairly selling, there is a strong selling, right? So these three candles, right? But again we see this kind of a candle forming up, and then it is followed by doji, right? So doji, so whenever the doji comes, basically doji indicates a trend reversal for the short term, right? So if prices were going down, right, if prices are going down, then doji comes up and then prices go up from here, right? So understand it from a psychological perspective. So whenever prices are going down, it indicates a downtrend, right? And then there is one point, there has to be one point when there will be equal dominance of the buyers and sellers, right? So that leads to indecision in the market, indecision or indirection, right? So that is indicated by the doji, and then one side has to win. So if in case of a trend reversal, the buyers win in this case, or if the sellers have the continue the dominance, right, then they win, right? So doji does not, again I am saying, if you see doji forming at a support, do not go for a buy trade, because this only indicates in direction. This does not tell you anything about the direction of the prices, right? So we have to wait for a confirmation, right? So in this case, this is a morning star, this is kind of a morning star, and then we see the prices going up, right? So I hope I am clear in this case. So I hope you have understood the basic candlestick patterns and the psychology behind them, right? So let's move on to trend lines, right? So trend lines, again, when it comes to price action, this is actually an important topic. So I'll be drawing it. So what do we see here? We see an uptrend, isn't it? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Not a perfect trend, but these types of minor negatives and positives usually happen in the markets, and so that doesn't matter. You do not expect everything to be point accurate when it comes to the real market. So this is a trend, and this is actually a uptrend, right? So I'm going to this trend line, just I'll be drawing. So see here this line, right? So hope you guys can see this line is acting as an inclined support, right? So prices are bouncing from here, right? When it goes down, it bounces. It goes down and bounces. This is what we call as a support trend line, right? And in case of the upside, just see, I'll be wait a second. Yep. So see here, prices go up, it rejects, it goes down, it rejects the upward trend line, and then again it rejects, and again it rejects, right? So this is a resistance trend line, right? So I hope you are clear about supports and resistance trend lines in this case, right? So whenever we are talking about trend lines, you just connect the highs or the lows, right? So if you connect the highs, so say for example, if you connect the highs in these two cases, right, you have a trend line, right? Again, you see prices are respecting this trend line at this case. Similarly, if you connect the lows, right, you have a trend line, right? So if you connect any two highs or any two lows, that will make a trend line, right? So this can also be a trend line, right? So if I connect these 2 points, right, if I connect these 2 points, then this is also a trend line. Again, you see prices respecting it. Similarly, this is also an example of a support trend line, right? So in this case, the prices are actually on a downtrend, right? So prices are rejecting the upper trend line, the resistance, and then it is going down, right? So this is the basic understanding of trend lines. And again, how can you trade with this? Just see, whenever there is a strong uptrend, right? Whenever there is a strong uptrend, we can think of buying at the dips or the lows, right? So say for example, you see what? You see this forming up, right? And again you see some green candles, a good green candle, right? Good buying pressure, you can buy at this level and you can hold it till this level, right? And if you see prices breaking down this trend line, right? So if you see prices breaking down this trend line, then you can exit the trade. That is a basic trading concept with the help of trend lines, right? So if I have to talk about, say for example, here you see what? You see some kind of a evening star forming at the resistance trend line, and then it is going down, right? So that is the basic understanding. You see one bearish engulfing forming, you go for a short side trade, it does not work, it goes up, right? So trades might fail, no worries, right? Whenever there is nothing that works 100% accurate with 100% accuracy in the real market, right? So this is a strong bullish engulfing pattern. Just see the size of this candle, right? So again, that is also one thing I'd like to tell you, that is called as momentum, right? So whenever you see a really large candle with a large body on any side, so that indicates a strong buy or sell pressure, right? So this candle, this indicates a strong buying, right? A strong momentum from the buy side, so buyers, right? So whenever we are talking about buy side momentum, then the buy side candles or the green candles should be large, right? So see here, this momentum actually continues for some time, and then again there is some strong selling momentum as well, right? So see here, this sell momentum, you see this bearish engulfing, right? It goes down from here and it makes a fairly large move on the downside, so around 110 to 20 points, okay? So that's what I wanted to tell you about the candlesticks and the trend lines, right? So I hope you will be able to implement this in your trading, right? So as I said, supports, resistances, now we have trend lines as well. So say for example, we can think of buying at supports, right? So what is the basic difference between buying at supports buying at normal support levels or buying at support trend lines? Which should be better in your case, right? So as I said again, there is trend, right? So in case of trend lines, we have a trend in the market, right? So in this section, right? So in this section, you see prices are rejecting the resistance and bouncing off from the support, right? So this actually indicates what? This indicates range bound market, right? So we have three types of market, right? We have one downtrend, right? And then we have a range bound market where prices are just stuck between two levels, and then we have an uptrend market, right? So uptrend, downtrend, and the intermediate stage, that is a range bound market. See here again, what we see, there is a downtrend, right? There is actually a downtrend. There is some range bound market. So and again there is an uptrend, right? So basic, again as I said, trade with the trend and avoid range bound market. So that is a second rule, that we should always avoid range bound markets, because range bound markets we don't have a clear direction of prices in this case, right? Since the prices don't have a direction, so that is why we don't like to trade in range bound markets, right? So see here, prices did reject from this level and then again bounced off from this level, right? So you might have bought here, right? If you had seen our Morningstar or bullish single, you might have bought the Reliance share for trading, for capturing this move, right? But as I said again, which is better, buying at supports or buying at support trend lines? So actually buying at support trend lines is better. Why is it so? Because in case of an uptrend, right, you know that the market's direction is on the upside, right? So if you buy at the support trend lines in case of an uptrend, you are having an additional confirmation that since the prices have a direction on the upside, or you are having a conviction, right? Since the prices have a direction on the upside, then it is not likely to go on the downside. So you can buy at supports, right? I mean to say at support levels. But in case of normal supports, right, just support levels, you don't have an idea of the direction of the prices, right? So that is one thing to be considered, and that is why again trend lines are actually better than our normal support and resistance levels, right? So I hope this is clear. So again we will be discussing some strategies based on trend lines just some time, right? So I hope everything is clear. We have learned candlesticks, we have learned trend, we have learned candlestick, some basic candlestick patterns, supports and resistance, and trend lines, right? So let's move on to our next topic. So that is chart patterns. So in which we will be learning some price action patterns, and we will be learning on how to trade with them, and we will understand the psychology behind each of them, right? So thank you guys. Let's move on to the next section. Alright, let's move on to our next section. So in this section we will be learning on some basic chart patterns. So I have a few of them in my screen right now. So let's have a look at this pattern, right? So this is called as a double top, right? So what does this mean? Again, this, say for example, this is our resistance level, right? Just a second, I'll just mark it. So if in this case this is a resistance level, right? So let's understand the psychology, right? So prices moved up, it bounced, it rejected the level once, right? Again tried to break the level and then it could not, right? Again it rejected, and then we see a downside move and a breaking of that support, right? This support is broken and then it goes down, right? So this is called as a double top, right? So double top, again, what this means? It means that the prices have rejected a resistance twice and then it goes down. Right? So this is the basic kind of basic chart pattern which you would find in many of the cases. Like if prices, say for example, they are going down, right? The trend is on the downside. They enter into consolidation. Here they form a resistance and then they reject the resistance and then they go down. So this is a normal pattern, a very basic bearish pattern, right? So the counterpart of it, this is the double bottom. So in this case, maybe the prices were going up, right? The overall trend was on the upside, and then this was a support level, right? And it bounced off from the support, and then it broke the resistance, and then it went up, right? So these are the two basic patterns, right, which you can find. So we'll just be looking at these patterns first of all, and then we'll be examining some of the real life applications of them, right? So these were double top and double bottoms. This pattern, what we call, this is called as a symmetrical triangle pattern, right? So in this case, what happens is the prices form lower highs and higher lows, right? So it gets into contraction, right? So each time a high is created that is lower than the previous high, and each time a low is created that is higher than the previous low. So this leads to contraction, as you see, and we have an upper trend line, a support trend line, and a resistance trend line, right? So this indicates strong fight between buyers and sellers only, right? So sellers think sellers start selling at lower highs only, right? They have a strong selling perspective, and the buyers also have a strong buying perspective, right? So each time prices make higher low, they go into buying and then they push the prices up, right? So at some point of time, this fight between the buyers and sellers have to win, right? Has to be completed, right? So one side has to win, right? So if, for example, the prices were on an uptrend, right? So in this case, if the prices were on an uptrend and it forms this, so since the trend, overall trend was on the upside, then it breaks out on the upside and then it goes up, right? If the trend was on the downside, we expect the opposite, right? Or maybe we can even expect an upside move. So we'll come to it. What are the conditions that need to be satisfied here? So I hope this is clear. So here is one more pattern, right? So this is what we call as a descending triangle pattern, right? So in this case, the prices make the same low, right, but lower highs, right? So if, say for example, if the prices were again on the uptrend from the initial phase, then we can expect a breakout and a retest and then an upside move, right? So this is also a good pattern to trade in. So just keep this in keep an eye on this. If this kind of pattern forms, usually we get a good move on any of the side, right? This is again a really good pattern. This is called as the ascending triangle. So in this case, you have prices forming higher lows and the same high each time. So usually on the upside, if this resistance gets broken, we get a good move on the upside, right? So you see this retest. So whenever the prices move, again our entries should be specified only. Entries should be made only after the retest if you are a safe trader, right? So usually this breakout should be accompanied also with some good volume. So I'll just implement volume. Wait a second. Yep, so this is volume, right? So I have the volume also right now. So anyways, I hope you are clear with the basic patterns. We'll come to all how to apply them and the similar relevant questions in this case, right? So again, ascending triangle, descending triangle and symmetrical triangle, these three are the triangle patterns. And we have these two patterns as well. So this is called as the head and shoulder. So this is called as the head, right? This is the head. This is the two shoulders. These are the two shoulders, right? So compare it to the structure of a person. You have the same kind of a structure of head and two shoulders, and then it goes and it breaks this support zone, it retests it and it goes down, right? So usually in smaller time frames, a retest is not really feasible, but in case of larger time frame, you can see a proper retest, right? So it depends upon you how much risk appetite you have. If you have a good risk appetite, then you can enter before retest as well. But again, we'll come to it. What are the things that should be kept in mind while entering before a retest or even after the retest, right? So again, if I were to talk about the head and shoulder pattern, right, this is a decently bearish pattern, right? So usually if it's broken down, we have a target of a distance equal to the distance between the top of the head and this neckline, right? So this is what we call as a neckline. So in our live trading, of course, we don't get such kind of a target, like we get a little lower than this. So 70-80% of this is a good try, right? So so this is a good target, right? And if I were to talk about the stop loss, then usually it is set just above this shoulder, right? Just above this shoulder. So this is a head and shoulder trade. Again, do not trade only based on head and shoulder, because this does not have a really high accuracy, right? You will see it failing in a number of times, right? A pattern having a higher accuracy is the inverted head and shoulder, right? So this is completely the inverse of the head and shoulder. In case you have this, here also you have a head, you have two shoulders, and you have a resistance which on breaking it goes up. So that is the inverted head and shoulder. Again, we have the target as it's 80-90% of this distance between the neckline and the top of the bottom of the head, and your stop loss at just below this shoulder, right? So this is again a good pattern, right? So you can trade on this. So if I were to talk about these patterns, right? So double bottom and double top, or maybe this symmetrical triangle. So in this case, you usually set a stop loss just below the retest swing low, right? So after the retest is complete, you can set your stop loss just below it. Or if you see here, this is actually a support zone, right? A resistance zone, which on breaking, right, it might go up. So you can place your stop loss just below this trend line, or maybe any other important level here as well. So that can be a good strategy, right? So wherever it retests, you can put the stop loss below it. Same as in this case, you can put your stop loss just below this one, right? Or just try to be just a little bit generous about the stop loss, because market is volatile. It might hit that easily if you keep a really tight stop loss, right? So again, in the case of an inverted head and shoulder, here actually the stop loss is really low, and you get a good risk reward if it breaks out on the buy side. So here also somewhere around this I will be looking forward for a good stop loss, right? So anyways, we are not applying only these patterns when it comes to trading, but we are using a number of other factors as well. So combining all of them, we trade based on these patterns, right? So patterns are just a confirmation, just for added advantage, right? Usually that is the use of it. Otherwise, we will be looking at a lot of other factors as well, right? So hope these few patterns are clear to you. So before coming to it, I'll just explain one thing, right? So we will be using patterns, exponential moving averages, and some other factors, right? So based on this, we will be trading, right? So I hope this is clear. All patterns should be clear by now, right? So these are some patterns which I would like to explain to you in this course, right? So let's move on to further topics. Thank you. Alright, so we'll be learning a basic strategy based on trend, right? So here you see, I have opened up the chart of Vedanta Limited. So what we see here, just have a look. I'll just remove the exponential moving averages for a second. What we see here is prices were on a strong uptrend after breaking this resistance level from around December 2020, right? It was a pretty strong move on the upside, right? So what we see here again, price was making this kind of a pattern, right? So you see higher highs and higher lows, right, each of the time. So what I was trying to show you here is again Just a second. So as you see here, I told you in the previous session that we like to enter at the dips, right? So if I were to mark this trend line once again, so see here I have marked this trend line, isn't it? So say for example, I'll just make it a bit better. Yeah. So see here. So what happens here? Prices go up, right? Make a move on the upside. It goes into consolidation, right? And then I mean a bit of a small correction, and then you see a bounce, right? So once we see this candle forming, this candle, right? This indicates a breakout, and then we enter here. Enter here. Stop losses can be below the breakout candle, right? And we can open a trade here. So if I were to open, you can target for at least maybe 1:2. So in this case you are not really, you are getting 1:2. So minimum you can target for 1:2, right? So although the stop loss is fairly large, but you can use the hourly time frame to confirm the entry as well. So in that case, if this high, this resistance, right? So in this case you see, if I were to mark this level around at 208.76, right? So once this high got broken, you could enter at this positions with a stop loss just below this candle, right? Below this trend line, and then you could write the trade, right? So in that case, you would be getting a better risk reward, so around 2.4 or more, right? So anyways, is a fairly basic setup. So either you can rely on a fixed risk reward or just write the momentum. So in this case, see, this was actually a better one. So here, if I were to talk about this one, this move, right? So again here, what we see here, again we have a support trend line, we have this morning star, right? So right after this morning star, we enter, we put our stop losses just below the morning star candle, candlestick pattern, so that can be a good stop loss, and then we enter here, right? We enter here, we target for 1:2, first target can be easy, 1:2, 1:2 is just around here, so that gets easily achieved, and we have 1:3 as well, right? 1:3, and if you were to write the momentum, then you would aim for 1:5 as well, right? So momentum should be important, just keep that in mind. Again, you see now also we are getting some kind of a move, but the momentum is not that great, right? So here this was actually a good trade which I had shared. So again, I'll be opening one more stock, right? So see here, so in this case, you have a better trend, right? So you see, this was a strong trend, right? This part, again you see uptrend. There was a resistance trend line as well. So just when this forms, right? So this was a trend line, right? This was actually a pullback. So you can mark it with a trend line. So this trend line we usually we give it a special name. So that is called as a counter trend line, right? So that the direction of the trend line is counter to the overall trend direction. So here what we see is a double bottom, right? So prices go down, it goes up, it goes down, and again goes up. And see the move again. If you were to enter here with a stop loss below the breakout candle or somewhere here, maybe here, if you were to go with a general stop loss, you can target for at least 1:3 easy, 1:5, 4.6, 4.8, that is also easy, right? So I hope this is clear away. We got a move here as well, right? Just see again a counter trend line. If I have to mark this till here, so here we get the trend, as well. We get, see here, this was a prior support zone also, sorry, a resistance zone, right? This was a resistance zone, it got broken, now it turned into a support, right? So just keep that in mind. Whenever a resistance gets broken, right, it from the downside to the upside, right, with some good momentum, and if the breakout sustains, then this is what we call as a CIP zone, right? So change in polarity, right? So resistance gets converted into a support in this case. as you see, this was a prior resistance. Now once the prices broke this, it took support at the prior resistance. So this is what we call as a CIP zone, right? CIP zone, again, see here, once the prices broke this, it goes up till this level, and then it consolidates, and again it goes up, right? So that's where we are interested in to buy on the dips, right? Basic strategy yields you a really good return. See, if I talk about this, so from here to here you are getting around 30-35% move in just a very small amount of time, right? So that is the importance. Again, we have a strong trend, we have a good market structure, right? We have got some breakouts, we have a retest as well from a CIP zone, and then we get the move, right? That is the whole point of learning this strategy. Pretty simple strategy, right? So I hope this is clear to you, right? So hope you guys have understood the basic concepts, right? I'll be sharing with you a few more examples of the chart pattern trades, right? The trades based on chart pattern, which should give you a better idea, right? So let's proceed to that, right? So I'll be opening Shraddha Prop Chemicals. So this is a trade, right? So see here, so we see a proper symmetrical triangle, right? So if I were to extend it on this side, I could. So what we see here, wait a second, I'll just make it a little better. Yeah, so yeah, so we have a lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low. Now once we see this momentum, right, once we see this momentum, and where did my volume indicator go? Just yeah. See the momentum here, this was accompanied with a strong volume as well, and we see a retest, right? So see here, I'll zoom it. So once this happens, right, we get this candle, and then we get this red candle, green candle, we can enter here, right? And then see here, see the move from here. So this is the kind of move we are expecting. So from here we are just holding till around, this gave a 90% move, by the way. So see here, this is again, as I said, this is an evening star, a bearish pattern. So once this was formed, we could exit, or we could just exit at maybe just before that, however long you want to hold, because this is already giving a pretty hefty return. So say from here we are getting around 80-85%. So no, doesn't matter whether we exit at the top or maybe at some other point, right? So it doesn't matter. Once we have capture at least 50-60% of the move, then we usually have a good trade, right? So this was a symmetrical triangle breakout trade. I will explain one ascending triangle breakout trade as well. So let me remember it. So this was probably this was not wait a second, it was not exactly an ascending triangle breakout trade, but it's pretty similar to it. So here you see this was a resistance level, right? So I'll just mark it with a trend line, that should do a bit better. So you have this trend line, right? So you have some kind of this, right? And you have a support trend line as well, right? This one. So see here, the breakout happens, right? So once the breakout happens, wait a second, I'll just remove this. Just got, yep. So I'll just just a second. See here again the same kind of a move. This is some kind of ascending triangle, just that the resistance is a bit inclined in this case. You get the breakout, you enter here, right? You enter somewhere probably here, and then you can capture till 28%. Your stop loss should be around the just below the breakout candle or just below the this swing one, right? So you have this small pullback, right? So you see here, if I were to talk about this move, so this was basically what? This was something like this, right? So you could put your stop loss just below this one, right? Or maybe here. So 1378, that can be a good stop loss. Entry at around 1520, and then you exit at 1000, maybe probably at 2000, right? So that is 2000 can be a good target which will go achieve here, right? Ultimate target I'm trying to say. So this was an ascending triangle breakout. If I were to talk about inverted head and shoulder breakout, so I'll just show that to you. This is a proper inverted head and shoulder breakout. So you see here, as I said again, do not expect pinpoint accuracy in case of the pattern. So this is some kind of a head, this is again a shoulder, right? So you could again enter here, you could enter at this point, right? You could put your stop losses below this one, this low, and you could target for how much? 1:2. 1:2 gets achieved easily, right? So here, this is the trade, right? So not the best trade because we don't get really good move, but again, as I said, trading is just about capturing the moves and having a fixed reward, right? And just working with your strategy, right? So try to apply these strategies. As I have said, this should help you out in your day-to-day basis, right? This was an inverted head and shoulder trade. So you could just combine, right? You could combine chart patterns with volume, momentum, candlestick patterns, right? Trend lines, whatever you want to, and you can capture some good moves, right? So in I'll just tell you a way to capture some good moves in the market. Just try to find out the top gainers in every sector, in every caps, right? Small cap, large cap, mid caps, right? So everywhere, if you try to find out the good moves, then you will usually find out the good chart patterns as well with that, and you will find you will be able to generate some hefty returns on your capital, right? So follow your risk reward. Not every breakout is a good breakout, right? So just try to implement it, right? So in case of a good breakout, that should give a retest, and that should also be accompanied with a good volume. There should not be wicks on the upside because that indicates some sellers being active, right? So if you see very large wicks on the upside, then that is not a really good sign, right? So see here, this candle, you see there was a wick on the upside, then it starts consolidation and then it goes down, right? So that's what I'm trying to say here, right? So I hope these things are clear. I hope this course has been beneficial to you, right? You have learned some very basic things about this. So if you want to join my full course, right, so the link is on the description for the free Telegram membership and our Instagram, right? So we basically give stock charts on a daily basis. We share this kind of breakout charts, and where we see some good potential trade setups forming up, so we share them on a daily basis. And we have a super course on swing trading where we have taught a lot more concepts in depth, right? So that should help you out in capturing some really good moves in the market. We have also taught you some intraday strategies, right? So join our membership right now. It is available for really cheap at around 2,500. So that should help you out to find out some really good trades, and the fees we are charging, that is only one time. So along with the course, you are getting lifetime membership in which you will be getting chart patterns, right? So we share 15 plus charts daily from all the sectors, right? So you can have a demo of it as well if you need, right? So just contact us. The links, the phone numbers, everything is in the description. Thank you guys. See you guys in our next video.